Welcome back to the Reseller Journey podcast. And in this video, if you know or you don't know, we got Tony and Christian, Resell Brothers, with us. They are absolutely crushing it. And I'm super fired up to get this one going because I do believe it's going to provide a lot of insights for a lot of people in the reselling community that have questions. We all have questions, right? And here today, we are going to answer those questions. There's a lot of trends changing, a lot of action going on in the reselling community and space in general. And I wanted your guys' take. You do a lot of business on eBay. You are grinding it out. Seasoned resellers, seasoned entrepreneurs. So I want to get your take. I want to know what's going on in your mind. Let's just start it right off. What is the biggest trend changes you are seeing in the reseller landscape overall? And how can some new resellers be prepared for those changes? Do you see anything on your end?
Biggest changes, I think,
in reselling
in general, I think prices are down a little bit. They used to, when we first started reselling, things we're selling for, I'd say at least 30% more than they are now. Prices are down a little bit, so you have to be a little more conscious of how much you're paying per item. Make sure you don't overspend and run out of money. That's one of the biggest changes I've personally seen. A little bit of market saturation as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I would probably say that it's close to the same thing. I mean, and I don't know if it's necessarily this time of year going into fall switching season. So people aren't buying a lot of the stuff that are available at thrift stores right now. So and they don't want to pay as much. Inflation's a real thing. So that's one thing. But also I think man, the stuff people want is different. And I think in the men's, I mean, even normally that's something that's tried and true. You don't got to change a whole lot of stuff because guys are easy for the most part. But I mean, the athleisure stuff, people, I mean, there's more brands every day keeping up with that kind of stuff, and
Lululemon, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, 10,000 and everything. But just keeping on trend and making sure you're keeping on style. With guy stuff, it's easy, but women stuff, it's a little more difficult, and trying to keep up with all the brands and everything.
Skinny jeans aren't selling.
Yeah.
Wide leg stuff.
We've changed a lot of the price of what we're paying for stuff. So we're trying to get as cheap as we can. We're leaving some stuff so we can get it cheaper on another like half off day kind of a thing. So it's
and if we pay up, we want to know it's going to sell. Right. We don't want to pay up for something that has a 10% sell-through rate that we're going to have to sit on. If we're paying up for it, we want it to have close to 100% sell-through. And that's just, if we're paying over $10 for something, we want to make sure it's selling quickly for us.
And not to get really long-winded, but where we're buying stuff, I think a lot of it's more is when times are not tough, but it's harder to sell some things sometimes for a high ASP. Getting stuff from retail places that are clearance, like I know you did a lot of Ross and stuff like that. So TJ Maxx, Marshalls,
K-Way and those guys did a lot of TJ Maxx, Marshalls,
some of that stuff.
Yellow Tag event.
When sales are down and you can get a $40-$50 sale that you paid $10 for versus a $15 sale you paid $2 for. And it sells a lot quicker. You gotta, instead of being stuck in your ways of I'm gonna pay as cheap as I can, try to switch it up every once in a while. I'll still buy some cheap stuff if it's good stuff, but maybe compromise a little and spend a little more if you have to.
Don't be late to the party. Be up to date on the sales. Know what's going on in your area and make sure you don't miss out on inventory. When the good inventory is hot, it goes quickly. So you have to make sure you're keeping an eye out for the sales and all the clearance events.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
Yeah. So trend changes. Yeah. No, I love that. That's great perspective. And I kind of got a sense that's what we're all doing, some retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, which is a great way to go when things are slowing down because sell-through rate is typically a little bit better than pre-owned items. You said it right. Like, you're spending 10 to make $20-$30 profit, but also what's really the difference? You're spending 2 to make 15, and then especially with the competition, I do believe there's a little less when it comes to the retail arbitrage, because not a lot of people have 10 grand lying around to go invest in inventory, versus at the thrift, you can, spend 1,000 and be, turn that 1,000 over plenty of times.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I've noticed, like just going to the retail stores, getting shoes, and they typically all have pretty good sell-through rate compared to like going out looking for pre-owned clothing. That's like a majority of the stuff is not going to hit your metrics, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
I
And
love
if you want
that.
to have a certain sell through, I mean, if you want to have 100%, like a lot of people do, some of that pre-owned stuff, like if you buy an LL Bean flannel, yeah, that ain't 100%. That's something that's
Great.
going to sit around for a little bit. So it's, I mean, it could sell really fast, but just, I mean, we still do the get cheap thrift store stuff, but being able to be malleable and adjust is important for sure.
Yeah, let's dive deeper right there and share whatever you want to share. But what would you say on average you're spending a week on inventory? Just like a ballpark range, because you're putting up good numbers. Think between like 40 and 60K a month. What does that look like as far as spend?
It really varies.
Does.
If there's a clearance event, or if we find a bunch of good retail arbitrage stuff, or even online arbitrage stuff, it can get into the, I mean, $5,000-6,000 a week. But normally it's quite a bit lower than that, a couple $1,000s a week,
Yeah.
between $2,000 and $3,000 a week.
Cool.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's not crazy, but when we, like you said, we do have those events.
We'll spend $10,000 in a week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, not often. That doesn't
Not very often, but it has happened.
right.
Yeah.
It's happened
Yeah.
before, but normally, like you said, it's in that. I mean, sometimes it gets as low as 1,500, 1,600 if it's a really good thrift week and you find a lot
Right.
of really cheap stuff. But I mean,
Yeah.
but sometimes it's
Those are the cry in the corner weeks.
right.
We're not
Those
gonna
are the
find it.
two to $3,000. I would say is probably the
Average.
norm. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Because
yeah.
you're at a what 75 listings a day? Is that still around that range?
Yeah,
Around that
yeah,
range.
75
7
is
days a week.
yeah,
Yeah.
7 days a week.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's awesome. Great perspective on that. Yeah, definitely got to manage your money. Um,
Right,
not be spending more than you're getting as far as sales, and you guys are obviously, have it dialed in, but I do find like a lot of resellers will tend to overspend and then they didn't make any money that week, and then you're like, well,
right,
now
yeah,
you're in the red. So
right, yeah, we
scale
have
it back
ours
a little.
drawn out, like we have our eBay account drawn in our bank account every day, so we see the money coming in in and out every day, so we know, what's going on if there's a short time. I mean, and knowing like, hey, we're not selling as much stuff this month, maybe we shouldn't buy as much this month, we don't have the funds,
But we also have the ability to where we have a little more capital because there's two of us. So we have the ability to buy some stuff and sit on it. Like we have a lot of new tag stuff in our inventory that we paid up a little bit for, and it might be like a wintery item. It might be a pair of jeans that are new with tags that we paid $11 for, that we know in the winter we're going to get $40 for them, but
Yeah.
maybe we had to sit on them for a couple months until the weather cools down. So we do a lot of stuff like that, which is why our spending can be a little high sometimes,
Yeah.
but overall we try to spend as little as we can.
Yeah.
let's get comfortable.
When I was
Let's
talking
have a
to
good time.
Yeah, I was talking to another reseller, and he just said this really, really good. It's just like a form of investing, really. Like
Mhm.
your money's sitting in the bank. Typically, it's not doing much. Why not buy some inventory, whether it's new or used, that has a good sell through rate? That's just kind of like a form of investing, right? You're
Yeah,
investing back into your business to see an
Absolutely.
ROI eventually. So if you got extra money in the bank and you see a hot sale come, like you mentioned, the yellow tag event that Marshalls and TJ Maxx does at the first week of August,
yeah,
that's a great form of investing.
yeah, yeah,
Like you
Yeah.
got 10 grand, go buy some inventory, turn that 10 grand into 20 over the course of a year. That's beautiful. That's a great
yeah.
way.
It was weird. I was thinking today that, man, if times ever got hard, might be able to trade some of this clothes for food.
We're gonna barter.
If you ever had to, like, we got a lot of clothes.
Yep. Yep.
I know you're starving, but this is a Lululemon jacket.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
5
It's
loaves of bread.
sustainable. That is
Yeah,
true. That is true. You could also trade down the road.
yeah,
Um,
exactly.
all right. So now I want to get some perspective on thrifting, sourcing in general. You guys absolutely crush it. and this is a question for both of you. You're walking into the thrift store. Where are you headed first, and why?
Where do you go first? Big dog.
Uh,
Somebody made a comment about his arms today on our live, and I just don't see it. I don't get what
Your
they're talking about.
arms.
Yeah, they're so big. Ooh, cool. Anyway, go ahead.
I actually normally go to the jeans first because we buy a lot of jeans, even off season. In our area, they're only like $5. So if I see a pair of Levi's and they're in decent shape, I'm normally picking them up. And I can normally get like 10 items in pretty much every store right in the jeans and pants section. So I normally go there first.
Yeah. So, and that's the other benefit of the two of us. And then when because our mom does shop with us because she enjoys shopping and finding those deals. But so we have 2, sometimes 3 people attacking the store at the same time. So he can go through the
Nice.
jeans, and I can go through.
The
In the
jackets.
summer, I really try to go through because it changes from season to season. Like, if it's wintertime, I'm not hitting up the shorts very much. And so lately, it used to be I would go to shorts first in the beginning of the summer just because I was trying to get that kind of stuff. But now trying to get more towards the seasonal fall stuff. Still hitting up polos. I like to go to polos first because that's kind of an all year round thing too. A lot of people wear polos with a jacket over it. So
Jackets, depending on the time of year, though.
yeah, jackets.
Yeah.
I'll probably go polos. Right now, not jackets because people aren't buying a lot of jackets in the thrift stores, but polos. And then like we sell, and we've talked about it before, we sell a lot of long sleeve button downs and short sleeve button downs. That was our number 1 or number 2 category last year. So probably polos, then there, and then
we're all over the place.
Yeah, probably jackets. But like I said, our mom is there too with us sometimes. So we have 3 people attacking the store. So it really, we have 3 places we go to first at one time. You know what I mean? So
we pretty much take the whole store out in like 10 minutes.
We can cover it real quick.
That's good. That's good. Do you find it's pretty competitive or gotten more competitive, or you're seeing the same people probably?
We've drove people away.
Yeah.
So there used to be.
They see us coming, they're like, "Well, time to go to a different store."
Yeah, there used to be a few other people that would come, and we haven't seen them in like a year. So it's
Okay.
yeah.
I don't know if you ever watched Breaking Bad, but when Heisenberg sees those guys in the parking lot, and he says, "Get out of my territory."
That's kind of how it is.
Yeah, it's like that, but like a friendly way, you know.
Yeah. You walk in with a MS-13 gang to source.
Exactly.
Well, that's just backup, but
yeah. Yep. No, that's a great. I mean, talk about being effective. Just going by myself, even when I go with my family and kids, it's like we even clean out a thrift store. The kids look for the discount tags, they bring them to me. We're just like an assembly line, so I get that feeling and envision that maybe in the future. But
yeah. Where do you go first?
Jackets. Yeah, jackets first. There's just an abundance here, and you said it right. It's just no one's sourcing jackets. It's 94 degrees. I'm the only one getting the jackets.
Right.
So,
and they're big money in jackets. If you
real big money,
yeah. Jackets.
Well, we don't have a whole lot of that here. A ton of jackets, comparatively someplace like that. So yeah.
It rains 9-10 months out of the year. There's a good selection of jackets, and I like to hit those when it's really hot out because no one's like and it makes sense. And there's a lot. So then after the jackets, I'll do the jeans, pants, men's button ups, and then and that's all in the men's. And then I'll jump to the women's jackets, women's sweaters, and then women's jeans last. And by that time, my cart's too full where it will tip over.
Women's sweaters, that can be a hot spot right there.
Yeah.
What's that?
We have
women's sweaters. Those cashmere sweaters can go for some big money.
Yeah, that's what I was picking up. Just and then not so much the brand now anymore since Whatnot's been great. Just more about the material.
Right.
So
I just one thing about Whatnot.
Cashmere.
Yeah, you can really sell it yourself. You know what I mean? Instead of having to let eBay do it for you. Like you can say, "Oh, this is really nice. Feels really soft. Got a good texture." You know what I mean? That kind of stuff makes a big difference.
Yeah, 100%. It's whole way different than eBay. It's good to have them in combination though.
Right.
Okay, cool. That's your mindset when you thrift. Let's get into some numbers for people that don't know. You could subscribe to their channel down below. I put a link, Resell Brothers. Go check out their stuff. They're doing great things. But let's just give people an update. What does it look like for this year as far as number projections? Are you going to beat last year? Are you happy with the numbers this year? And then maybe what can you do to improve?
You want to answer this? You want me to?
Sure, I can do my best. So we're definitely up from last year. So the beginning um, of 2023, we didn't have a ton of listings. We grew a lot. I mean, we had a lot of listings, but we grew a lot from 2023 beginning of the year to 2024 beginning of the year. So those first 4 months, we were way up compared to the year before. So we're definitely up. Are we going to hit the 750,000 mark like we wanted to? I think we're going to be close. It really depends on how the fall and winter go. But I think you said we're normally right around 50, a little above 50,000 on eBay. No, I mean, no, total.
Total,
That's
yeah.
total. Yeah, over 50, a little over 50, sometimes 54. If we can break 60 in a couple of those months, I think we'll be doing pretty well. I think we'll be able to break the 750 pretty easy. But it's you never really know what's going to happen. You never know. I mean, we could do worse. We could
If
do
sourcing
better.
dries up,
Yeah,
good, yeah.
you never know. But if all things continues, hopefully we continue to reach goals and to um, list more. I mean, if we can do more, because there's been a few situations now where I'll have more time than I did before. So maybe we'll be able to take a few more listings and a few more pictures and maybe bump it up a little bit because we're right at almost reseller nirvana, as the Daily Refinement used to say, where we're listing as much as we're selling. We're close. Now the last couple of weeks have it slowed down a little, season transition change, but we're at like I said, listing 75 to 77 a day. We're selling normally between 50 and 65 a day.
Cool.
So we're getting close to that area where we're not going to be growing a lot. We did a lot of growing last year. This year, to go up 1,000 listings
It's hard.
literally took
Yeah. Yeah, a long time.
9 to get
Yeah,
there because it's
which is good
just
for
right, which
space.
is good. We're selling stuff. We're not growing a ton. So, but we're still growing. So we want to eventually, when we hit that spot where we're, you know, I don't want to say we're doing as much as we can because we can always do more. But I think we'll get to the point where we're going to have to step it up a little bit. Maybe
Hire somebody to take
work on a
pictures.
Saturday, hire somebody else to take pictures. I don't know. We'll see. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think we've been blessed and been doing really well this year, and numbers wise, I think we're going to hit our goals.
I think our inventory is pretty strong as well.
Yes.
We have a lot of strong items in our inventory that haven't sold yet because we had them priced a little high, but
Wrong season.
Yeah,
Not
our
stuff.
inventory is a lot stronger this year than it was last year,
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We buy a lot better stuff. We pay less. We just learned. We're literally we're just normal dudes. We
Still learning.
yeah,
as we speak.
there's nothing special about us at all. He just
Notice he went to me when he said there's nothing special.
Yeah. So we just
Nothing special. Look
yeah,
at
just
Christian.
yeah, exactly. Look at this guy.
No, you guys are doing great. Great team. It's definitely inspiring.
Right.
So learning
But
new
then
things, applying
not to
those things.
not to cut you off, sorry, but
No, go ahead.
I forgot to mention, like, we're talking about maybe getting into Whatnot and doing things to also just bring in do more sales and stuff because we're kind of, I don't want to say we're a one-headed monster. We sell on Poshmark and Mercari, but eBay is our biggest by far. So if you can go into more areas too and try to do that, hopefully that'll bring in even more. But that's a task we haven't taken on yet. Hopefully soon.
Right,
So
right.
We shall see.
Right.
Yeah. Could you see yourself as far as the next step, the next move in your business? Would that be like a person to take photos or a person to help ship? So you could do something like Whatnot, or would you be able to do that now?
Step one is we need to be able to source enough items to continually supply and employ. Like cash flow wise, income wise, we could hire somebody now, but we don't have a consistent supply. Like we basically get everything we buy listed every week. We don't have a stockpile. So we need to get our sourcing methods down a little bit to where we have a stockpile to where we can hire somebody. But once we do that, yeah, we'll probably be running from there.
Right. Or it's one of us quits taking pictures and then we shop more, buy more, and then have somebody else. So there's different ways to play around with it. We haven't really thought enough about it to think about what the best decision is as far as if we hire somebody, how does that look? Because we've never hired somebody outside of a virtual assistant. So it's kind of like
for the clothing business.
Right, for the clothing business. Yeah. So it's like, well, how do we I mean, it's the same thing we approach.
I don't think it's rocket science.
Everything in our business, we sat down, we talked about, and we thought about for a long time before we actually made the decision. And I think we would have to do that, but definitely making sure we have enough stuff to keep somebody employed, is something that is because we don't want to hire somebody and then keep them for a week or two and be like, oh, this was a mistake. We can't.
Yeah.
So
be ready.
Right.
Be ready.
So
that's good.
Picking up the how much more, buying more stuff, and then making it to where maybe we list a little bit more and we're like, okay, we're actually consistently getting enough stuff to be able to supply to somebody else. I think that would be the next step, is making sure we're prepared before we can.
And I think we'll get there soon. It's just, like you said, you're making sure you keep track of everything. You don't want to have your actual inventory that you have now go by the wayside because you're not managing it properly. So we want to make sure, like, we have some older inventory that just disappeared. So we're going through the old inventory now, trying to clean stuff up so that we're a little more streamlined in the future to actually have that going.
That's good. That's good. Awesome. And I don't know where I've heard this before, but basically running the ship until you basically burn out. Like, just do as much as you can yourself before you go hiring all these processes and you're like, oh, we're not even making any money. So you're doing it right as far as like establishing everything and making those calculated decisions before you do hire someone, because you don't just want to do more sales and then that's barely covering the new employee and you're working an extra 20 hours a week. So but yeah, I appreciate that. That's some great insight, great projections. Now, is there anything you're struggling right now in the business with, like keeping up with, or is there anything that's just like, oh man, this needs to be fixed right now? Pricing, sourcing, listings, is there anything going on right now?
Sourcing enough items. I think we've kind of had to, like we said, we're buying things at a lower cost now. So if we buy a pair of Levi's, we don't want to spend more than $5 for it. For the most part, depending on, obviously there are other factors involved with that. But we're trying to make sure that we're sourcing as much as we can, but making sure that it still sells and for a reasonable profit. We're not overspending. But the biggest challenge, I would say, is sourcing enough inventory at the price point that we want to be at.
Yeah, that's definitely our main problem right now, because and like I said, it could be a whole bunch of different things. It could be just literally it's August and the stores aren't putting out a lot of summer stuff, because why would they? And they don't have a ton of fall winter stuff yet. So it could just be there's not a lot out there. Are people donating less? I don't know. Like I'm not on the pulse with what other people's donating trends are. So it's just, is it going to pick up? I think it'll probably pick up in the fall, in the winter time. It normally does some, but just being able to find stuff and to probably branch out and drive a little further and to make sure that, hey, we're getting what we need to get. Because there was a couple of weeks, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, where we didn't get enough stuff for like the first time in a while.
Oh wow!
So it was kind of where we were like, oh well, what are we gonna do?
Pull old inventory.
Right, pulled on, and then we found a whole bunch of inventory that wasn't listed. So like, oh okay, maybe we could tackle this.
In disguise,
tackle this thing. So staying busy, even though there's not stuff to do.
Yeah. Did you just relist the inventory, or is that gonna be? What are you gonna do with it?
We relisted. So a lot of the stuff that we were pulling from the old inventory wasn't even on eBay. So we're like, well, I guess it just disappeared. So we'll pull all that stuff, relist it. If some of the other stuff that we pulled that was on eBay, if the listings look bad, we just take those all off every platform, and then we'll rephotograph them and basically do them like they're a new item. and adjust the prices accordingly. Because if it didn't sell in 2 or 3 years, we probably have it priced too high, and it's probably not an item that we should have picked up.
Yeah, we have a bunch of our early on photos were typical. You know how you scroll through eBay
Fisheye
and
photos.
you see some of those photos and you're like, how in the world did they think that was you know what I mean? How
Yeah.
was that a good photo?
Why is there a
Yeah, those
foot in the photo?
Did Stevie Wonder take that?
Exactly. That's what some of our old photos used to look like, and we used to think they looked good. It was
Yeah.
like,
Well,
you know.
yeah. Always
Hey, we
keep
learned.
improving.
Right.
Always keep getting
Exactly.
better.
Yeah, it's an
That's good.
opportunity to improve. Exactly.
Yeah. Right on. Well, thank you for the outlook. Thank you. It's because I learn a lot talking to other resellers, just kind of their point of view. What are they doing? And just what I've learned over these last few months is that there's just really nothing more important than sourcing. Um, it's like sourcing in general, sourcing what you source, but what do you think? What do you think is the most important aspect in a reselling business? What is something that is like a non-negotiable, like this needs to happen or we do not grow or make money?
You want to go? You want me to go?
Go ahead.
He's got a hair right on the tip of his nose.
On your nose.
It's attached too. It's weird. I don't know how that happens. But
Leave it there. Let it grow
Yeah.
out.
Are you gonna answer the question?
What was the question again?
Just like what's
my
the
God.
most important aspect to the resale business that
Most
you guys
important
run?
aspect. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So sourcing is definitely, I think all of it's important because
Knowing your numbers.
you work for yourself, know your numbers, blah, blah, all that. But if you don't have the work ethic and
Every
ability to have a schedule and stick to that schedule, and you're going to do this, this, and this every day. And if it doesn't get done, I'm staying here until it gets done, kind of a thing.
Right.
That is far and away. Like I said,
if you're full time.
we're not really special. Like I said, there's nothing. This business, I don't think it's hard. I think it's pretty easy to do, but
You have to be consistent.
being very consistent and working really, really hard is
Consistently, though.
yes.
You
Work hard very consistently is the
Yes.
most important thing. Which I think that's with any business. That's the key. I mean, the most important thing is working outworking everybody. I think that from sports aspect, we always grew up playing sports, and
And it's a marathon, not a
right,
race.
you get rewarded for the hard work you put in, and
Right,
that's the same thing with this business. The harder you work, the better it's going to do. It's going to pay off. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah,
Because I mean, if you list 70 items a day, it's not going to make a difference in the first 2-3 months. Like you might
Yeah.
have a little bit more sales, but
it's not going to make you rich.
it's
in
not
other
going to
words.
make any difference until you get 2 years down the road and you're like, oh, I went from 1,000 listings to 12,000 listings, and along the way I sold thousands upon thousands upon thousands of items.
And I've learned all these brands that I didn't even look at when I first started reselling.
Yeah. So it's just hard work and consistency will beat out the most talented people that don't work hard
And
every single time.
Continual education too.
Right. Yeah.
Watching YouTube videos, watching guys like Bo, seeing the latest trends, the latest brands, what's selling, what's not selling, what's oversaturated now, what you shouldn't pay up for now that you could buy a year ago. Like maybe a Peter Millar polo you could have paid $10 for 3 years ago. Now you'd be lucky to pay $5 and still pick it up. So stuff
And
like
sell it
that.
for 10. Yeah.
It's self
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Jim Rohn has a great quote. It's just like success looks like a small couple disciplines practice every day over time. Like people just give up too early. They give up way too early on their dream. You get criticized year one, you get criticized the first week, you get criticized year two, but you don't realize that you're counting the time horizon in decades. All the other people look at you and they're just saying, you're going to fail, you're going to fail. But when you have like the bigger time horizon, like I'm going to make this work and we are growing, you will, because over time, that discipline over time, people give up too early. There's that meme of that guy digging for gold and he gives up right before he hits the gold,
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's very similar like that with eBay. You said it right. Like 70 listings a day, you're going to not see like any traction for maybe a month or two until all of that effort's been like put in. So I just say people out there that are like going through a little bit of a struggle, just like don't give up. Don't give up on your dream. If you want to be a full-time reseller, if you want to make a little bit of extra money, put away for retirement, this is a great way to go, guys. Like reselling is not dead, no matter how many videos you've seen out there. Reselling has been is one of the first business models in existence.
Yeah.
Reselling. It
Mhm.
Yeah.
might look different in 10 years on a different platform, but right now, eBay's the second biggest platform other than Amazon right now,
Yeah, for
and
sure.
that's not changing anytime soon. So
I
just
saw a
take,
thing
yeah.
that was, the most downloaded apps right now, especially
Mhm.
by Americans. eBay was, like, in the top 10.
Yeah.
So, I mean, people are on the app. People are looking for stuff.
And
That's
if the
just
economy's bad, people are looking for deals.
right.
Exactly, exactly. And also too, when you see people like yourself doing it on a big level, we need to understand what is it that you're doing that we need to do
Mhm.
so we can also, get on that same level. Like if no one on eBay did more than $10,000 in sales, there's going to be less attraction to it. But there's people on eBay that are absolutely crushing it. And yes, it's gotten more difficult, but you kind of establish the proof of concept that if they're doing it, you can do it too. It's just
Mhm.
what are you doing that I need to do so I can get those results, right?
Yep.
And I mean, yeah, you could say, "Oh, you're two people, I'm just one." It's like, well, you can at least do half of what they're doing in sales,
Mhm.
So you definitely have proven that you can do it and that eBay is alive and that it's not dead. It's really just going back to like what you're putting in your store.
eBay's
Right.
not dead; it's
Yeah,
surely
no.
alive.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
honestly, there's people that do more than us,
Yeah.
and, like, we watched tech in the beginning, and tech like, I listed 125 things a day by myself every day, and I didn't make an excuse, and I was like, "Okay, yeah, so if you're telling me if I just list a certain amount every day and I make no excuse, I'm gonna get there." And I mean, I don't think we're nowhere near on his level or
You got to have that
anything, but
believe in the
yeah,
process.
but you know that we're getting there. It's just and it pays off as you go. It's like,
If it was
oh,
easy, there'd be 10 techs on YouTube, and they'd all be selling a course and teaching you how to do what they did. It's not
mhm,
that easy.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
Well,
a
I
lot
mean,
of work.
you can have the tools, you can even have all the brand lists, you can have everything ready to go for a successful business. And it's like, all right, now go find that product.
right,
That's the hardest part, everybody. Finding the
I'll do it every
product.
day.
Like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's difficult. It's hard. In
yeah,
every thrift store in Portland, there's a line around the corner. Every single one.
mhm,
Goodwill, mom and pops, estate sales, garage sales with nothing. There's just lines everywhere. People are just
right,
love looking for stuff. So
yeah,
I don't blame them. That's a great part of the whole business, but the competition's gone up. So
right,
you can have the tools. It's just about what you just said, the discipline, the grit, the tenacity, the poise, all of my favorite words. But you got to
yeah,
have that to make it go. You
right,
got to get knocked down 7 times, get up 8 times again. This type of business, there's going to be times where you don't find nothing, you know,
Yep.
yeah, been plenty,
especially in
been plenty,
Portland.
Take the
right.
walk of the
So
shame back to the car.
yeah, I go back to the
Yeah.
car and like, well,
$24 for a used Levi's with a hole in it here.
yeah.
So,
I remember walking
um,
back just thinking, "Yep, yep, they're right. Reselling's dead. There's nothing here ever." And then
yeah.
you go to the next door and like, "Oh, okay, yeah, we're fine."
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
100%. So getting into some brands, maybe what are some brands that you started picking up and now you're staying away from, whether it was due to low ASP or the market demands just died? Can you
Mm,
name any brands that you're like, yeah, I don't grab that anymore. That's terrible.
man, I don't know.
I can say we pick up Peter Millar a lot less often than we used to. Same thing with
Mhm.
FootJoy. Um,
FootJoy, Peter Millar. Okay. Yep.
we still pick it. It's
We're weird.
yeah.
I don't yeah, we're weird
We'll
and
pick it up if we pay like $2
yeah,
for it.
we list a lot of stuff. So and it's pattern especially polos. Polos are pattern based and then brand based, material based, just like with everything else. So if there's a FootJoy polo that's like really cool, geometric wise, has something really cool, like I said, pattern on it, and it's really cool material. Yeah, that's different than a 100% cotton polo that is just FootJoy polo.
No small sized women's clothing. No
Ever.
skinny
Yeah.
jeans.
No.
Um, even if it's a good brand, like even if it's like a Lily Pulitzer dress, but it's a size 00. I mean, if you're paying up for it, even if you don't pay up for it, it's going to take forever to sell.
Yeah.
Honestly, there's Lulu stuff I wouldn't pick up anymore. If
Yeah.
it's old Lulu and it's
Yep.
not something that's in high demand, because
Yeah.
people want a lot for it. The thrift stores want a lot for it anyway, at least around us. So if I'm going to pay a lot for it, I at least want to know it's going to sell. So Lulu has been thrown out a lot of times.
We don't pay up for Duluth trading at all
Yeah,
anymore.
we used to pick up Duluth trading all the time. Don't really do that very much.
What's your max spend on a Duluth item?
Oh,
$5.
no, it depends. If it's a substantial piece,
Yeah.
probably 5 to 10. If it's anything less than that, like if it's just a normal everyday item,
Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
If it's over 2, I'm not getting it, kind of a thing.
Which is weird because a lot of thrift stores in our area price Duluth
They
up.
love it. They love
Yeah,
Duluth.
because it was really popular for quite a while. I guess it's still popular, but yeah, can't pay up for it anymore.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
else?
the Duluth and LL Bean, and I find them common, are like those chore barn coats. Those are
Yeah.
good. I pay like
Mhm.
$7 for those.
Yeah.
Well,
because it's-
yeah, the barn, yeah.
yeah, they're like long canvas barn coats.
Right.
People pass on them all day.
Those are good in
Really?
everything.
They
Yeah,
pass on
yeah,
there?
yeah. Any barn coat in general
Even like an
does well.
Orvis.
Yeah, send them
Like
our
an
way.
Orvis. Yep.
Yeah, I'll pay you.
Um,
I'll pay you $7 to send them our
cool.
way.
Well, yeah, we'll do a little wholesale deal.
Yeah.
Now like the opposite. Maybe what's a brand that's come across your radar that like, hey, we need to make a point of emphasis to find this when we go out. Is there any brand that's you've learned recently that's maybe flying
recently?
under the radar?
You don't want to give
That's
away
not-
all of our secrets, but
Yeah,
no,
wait a
I'm just
You got to
kidding.
let us
Right
know
here.
all of them. Yes.
Yeah.
Volleyball.
Yeah,
are good.
yeah, Vol. I don't even know. We found it once.
We sold a pair of shorts for like $160 or something like that.
Yeah, 145. With Volleyball, just a pair of gym shorts almost.
Keaton.
That's
Yeah.
not new though. Everybody knows
It's something we
Keaton.
didn't know about when we first started reselling though.
Just a man. So we pick
10,000.
Yeah, 10,000 is good.
Yeah,
I love
10,000. Keaton, Kiton, I think,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, Keaton. Okay.
We found a pair of Keaton jeans. What was it, like a month ago? Used jeans they sold for like $150 in like a day.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, there's we have a brands list that we're going to plug right now. So
it's in your description, right?
Yeah, there's how you're just
There's
you
like
don't
300
know
different brands on it.
how many brands are in your head until you're in a thrift store and you start recognizing stuff without even, you know what I mean? So it's kind of
Roback.
Yeah, I mean,
Roback.
Found a Roback yesterday. That was really good. What are some athleisure brands that people don't know about?
Viore. Everybody knows about Viore.
Yeah.
Lululemon.
Said those 3 times now.
We did.
Like
oh, sorry.
Ibex. There's
yeah, I love found Ibex one.
Ibex is a good
QU.
one.
You ever heard of QU? KU?
QU, yep.
Yep, that's a really good one. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Geez, I haven't found those a lot. See, those are the things like we find and we buy a lot of the normal everyday mall brands constantly throughout the week all the time. We don't find a lot of that stuff that you make $40-$50 on. So we're all, if you look at our sales and we like when we make a video of everything that sold in May, you go through it's like, okay, yeah, this is J. Crew, Banana Republic, Ralph Lauren, just over and over and over and over and over again.
Right.
That's what I don't think people understand is that kind of stuff is definitely not dead. People still want it. Now you're not going to make a lot on it. We're going to sell it for, I mean, $12 to $20, but for us that works because we can do that. So I mean, I think a lot of people know brands nowadays. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows?
No,
Like I said,
there's so many.
No,
there's so many, and you're right. The real peel behind the curtain as far as the business is like same for me. It's like the majority of the sales that keep the lights on are your just regular brands. Like I pick up a lot of the times I do always see New Attack Van Heusen, New Attack Perry Ellis, and at the thrift store it's priced between $2 and $5, but they generally sell between 20 and 30 on eBay. And I pick them up and I sell them pretty frequently, but I wouldn't pick them up used, but new for $2 to $5.
Exactly.
And no one's making a video about, wow, I'm rich. I've sold this Van Heusen pair of pants. Bolo, no one cares. It's not really, no one's going to click on that. No one cares. But my business runs off of brands like that, like the Lee Extreme Motion Comfort Pants. It's like I find those all day for $2-4.
Relwyn is a good one.
Rollin?
Relwyn.
Relwyn is a good one. Relwyn is a
Yes.
great one. Yeah, that is a good one, ladies and gentlemen. Relwyn. Yeah, and I feel like the finding those brands is amazing, but the business for me, and I'm sure for you guys, is very similar. Like the sales throughout the day is probably like your common items,
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I can't tell you how many times we've sold Croft and Borrow,
giving away the
and it is just
quick dry,
constant. Yeah, it's not even quick dry. Just, I mean, I bought cotton. Nobody go out and buy these because I want all of them. So don't listen to what I'm about to say. But cargo, cotton, Croft and Borrow. I mean, we sold them used for $18. I mean, quick. And it was the end of the season. It was August. Bought it in August, sold it in August. It's like, what is going on? So I don't know.
Are those new or are they used?
Both used and new. I mean, they both. It's weird.
They sell fast.
I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. Huh. I don't get it. I can't explain it. I wouldn't. That's not. How they have.
This is not legal advice.
This is not
financial advice.
Financial advice at all. I'm not saying go out and buy all of them, but for us, it works. I don't know if it's because eBay knows we're cheap people and like we have cheap taste, so they push the people to.
Well, there's an interesting thing, and I think you guys had mentioned this before, and I know Caleb Sells has a video about it, but just checking the sell-through rate on your own store for items.
Absolutely.
That is an interesting way to go because like I pick up a lot of Lucky Brand jeans and, the different models, some have good sell-through rates, some don't. But if I check in my store during summer, I'm at almost a 40% sell-through rate on all of the Lucky Brand jeans in my store in the middle of summer. Right. So I'm just like, So I kind of use that as a guide to be like, well, it's still selling in my store, so I'm going to keep picking up no matter the general market consensus. If it's selling in my store, I'm going to keep grabbing it. Do you guys ever do that same thing, like looking at the sell-through rate of certain brands in your store?
We did all the time. We did it yesterday. We looked at Nike polos and we were like, are Nike polos still worth picking up? Mm-hmm. And if you look on eBay, used Nike polos has like an 18% sell-through rate. Our store, 50, 60%. So it's like, okay, well, we must be buying good ones that people want. So stick to that aspect of, not buying every Nike polo out in the world, but we can still pick it up. So,
and we'll check our sell-through rate across multiple platforms as well. So we'll see, we have a 50% sell-through rate on Nike polos on our eBay store, but we're also selling it on Poshmark and Mercari. Add them all together, we're at like 90% sell-through rate on Nike polos. So we'll do that. We'll cross-reference across all the platforms as well.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, that's good. I just don't hear it talked about too much, but it's a good practice.
You want some more brands? We got the list up. Waggle.
Yeah, hit us with the brands of what some showstoppers.
American
like, hey,
Giant,
I need to.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Todd Snyder. Everybody knows Todd Snyder.
Brain Spooner. We got that.
Public Rec.
PRPS.
Outer Gnome.
Poncho.
Outdoor Research.
Muggsy jeans. Everybody loves Muggsy jeans.
Is Kasubi on there or Subi? KSUBI?
Probably. I think somewhere. Howler Bros. Love Howler
Holderness and Bourne's pretty good.
Fajal Raven. What? How you say that one?
Fall Raven. Is that how you say that?
Yeah, Fajal Raven. Yeah, I don't know how to actually pronounce it, but that's a good one.
Who does? Filson. I mean, everybody knows Filson.
Bad Birdie.
Bad Birdie. Love Bad Birdie.
Birdwell Britches. Birdwell Britches. Shorts.
Birdwell.
Birdwell, this morning.
Yep.
$1.
Aloe. Aloe's a great for men's.
Aloe, good.
Aloe. Malbin. Oh, if you watch the Masters,
we've actually found it.
Yeah, Jason Day was wearing some Malbin. Yeah, that threw it up. So and like I said, literally, it's infinite. You can do it all day long.
Buck Mason,
Buttercloth. I mean, it's just. Well, we had the. I don't even know how to say that anymore.
Taylor Stitch is a good one.
Yeah.
Are you guys picking up any style-based stuff? I know you're just stick with the brands. Are you venturing off into style-based pickups? I know you don't do much women's stuff.
Yeah, no, we do style based, but normally it's within a brand too. Like I said, with the Croft and Borrow, I'm not going to pick up something that's really
Plain.
plain, but if it's a cargo short, that's the quick dry, it's like, okay, yeah, that elevates it a lot.
Or like a Nike polo with like a geometric pattern on it,
Right.
or something floral. A lot of times that raises the price and helps it sell
Right,
faster
yeah.
for us.
And then the classic ones like we were talking about, cashmere, if it's a sweater. Yeah, it's Banana Republic, but it's a cashmere sweater, okay, or cashmere blend, cashmere silk blend or something
Yep.
weird like that. I
The
mean,
sportier, tighter fitting Nike stuff and Under Armour stuff seems to sell faster. Stuff like that.
I mean,
And
yeah,
what do you
it's
typically
always
price like, what are you typically pricing a Banana Republic merino wool extra large sweater on eBay for?
those kind of things. I'm only paying $2 to
$5.
$4
Yeah.
for. So yeah,
Yeah.
so we're not paying a
16
lot.
maybe.
We're gonna list it at 20.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Maybe if it's something that's, I mean, because yeah, there are different variations of the same shirt too. You can have a really cool looking design on it versus a plain navy blue one. So maybe
Mhm.
one I might ask 24, one I might ask 20. Somebody sends me a $15 offer, I'm just going to take it and move it along.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not to say everybody should go make us a whole bunch of low offers, but go ahead. Actually, that's fine.
$15 offer on everything.
Right
Yeah, I
on
just wanted
everything.
to hear how you go, your mindset on how you're pricing it. That's great. So that's good. Learn some brands. What is the major hurdle for new resellers, and what they face when they're trying to become a full-time business? What do you think is
Mm.
like that biggest leap that they got to take to uh, before they actually rely on this as a real business to pay their bills and to keep everything nice and comfy?
You want to go? You want me to go?
Uh,
I'll go. I'm ready. I think it's speed and being able to go fast, especially
Mhm,
through a store to find the inventory. I mean, I
mhm,
remember in the beginning, obviously being organized and knowing your numbers and doing all that kind of stuff. But um, I remember looking at the sell through rate of almost every item before I bought it, and it
mhm,
took forever. So becoming really familiar through watching channels. I mean, going on eBay and just looking up um, stuff that has sold. I mean, you can go on eBay and tear a peek and look through brands infinitely. So, I mean, doing a lot of research on what sells and how much it sells for, so you don't have to waste time in a thrift store looking all that stuff up while people like me, Christian, and you are flying through a store really fast, and we can get 100 things before you get 5. You know what I mean? You like there's too many people out there doing it for you to be slow. And if you're too slow, if you think something might be good, throw it in your cart and look it up at the end instead of looking it up while you're going through a rack because it's just too slow. Um, so yeah, I mean, I think speed because one hard work and speed are key. The more you get done, the better. I mean, it's just you're gonna make more money the more you get done. So
right,
um,
right.
that's my 2 cents.
Okay,
okay.
speed.
You got
Okay.
something?
Are you talking about like before you make the transition from going from part
Yeah.
time to full time?
Yeah, someone's working part-time, they're making, let's say $500 a week, and they want to go to 2,000 a week, but they're just really having a hard time. What's that thing that they need to put in place to make that jump? Is it like just more reps? Do they need to go faster? What do they got
I
to do?
think the time. Well, it would depend on how much time you're putting into it. You have to make sure you put in enough time to set yourself up for success. If you're only sourcing 1 day a week and you're not spending your free time trying to find more items, trying to research, then you're not really seriously trying to be a full-time reseller. If the goal is to be full-time, then you have to have the mindset, when I'm full-time, this is what I'm going to have to do. I need to have enough money coming in to supplement my current job, or I'm not going to be able to leave and be full-time without having financial stress on my family. So I would say treating your part-time like full-time until it is full-time. If you
Mm,
want to, if the
mhm.
goal is to be a full-time reseller. If that's not the goal and the goal is to be part-time and to have part-time money, then that's fine as well. It's just however you want to do it, honestly.
Your business is the boss and you work for your business.
Yeah.
I mean, you
Right.
wouldn't you wouldn't slack off at, well, some people do, but I mean, you get fired if you worked at a place and you didn't get your work done.
You don't want to be your own worst employee.
Yeah. I mean, the first thing they give you when you get hired at a job is a
I don't know. I
schedule.
never worked.
So,
Okay.
well, a
Never worked for
manual,
one.
book,
Yeah.
systems and processes, but a schedule is no different, everybody. Like, you're gonna have a schedule, you need a schedule, and if you don't have a schedule, why not? And it's
Yeah.
literally the thing that's keeping you from making progress in your business. I was
Right.
guilty of it too. I haphazardly went sourcing. Oh, this sounds good. Oh, that sounds great. But now the schedule, I know what to do. Like, I wake
Right.
up tomorrow, I know what to do. Oh, this has to get done. That has to get put away. This has to get organized. It's so much stress relief of having that direction. And
Mhm.
yeah, your business is the boss. You're the employee. No different. Just keep working until you can
Yeah.
hire it out.
Right.
That's the cool part of this business.
And knowing yourself too in
Mhm.
what distracts you and not putting that in front of your face while you're trying to get your work done. Like if I
Yeah.
were to if one, I hate silence. So if I'm sitting there taking pictures and dead silent, I'll get distracted and go try to figure something else out to do. So I have
Yeah.
to, what does that look?
No, I'm just listening.
Yeah. So
You're
like,
doing great.
but I also can't really have a video playing because if I have a video playing, I'll look at the
Yeah.
video and not. So I have to have like music or something to keep me focused.
He needs meditation
On yeah,
music.
I need
Okay.
medication too. Maybe no, I'm just kidding.
Medication.
No, but yeah, just knowing yourself and what distracts you and how it prevents you from getting work done is very important as well.
Yeah.
Knowing yourself
Yep.
and protecting yourself from yourself at the same time. Kind of, I don't know.
Separating work from watching Netflix and doing your listings.
Yeah.
Like, it may sound fun. Like, yeah, I could put on a movie, get my listings done, but it's going to take 3 hours versus 1 hour. And time is of the essence when you're a full-time reseller. You don't have time to be doing that. You don't have
Absolutely.
time to
Yeah.
be, I'll listen to a motivational podcast, but yeah, like as far as something visual, I don't have time to be looking away at this. I got to get things done. The
Right.
whatnot show prepped, everything's got to get ready.
You gotta be a busy guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, well, I mean, the schedule. So,
Yeah.
the schedule really helps. Like, it really does. Like, I know we had our podcast at 1 and nothing else is scheduled at that time. So, but yeah, it's awesome. I really do think that that's the jump from part-time to full-time is dialing in a schedule, putting in the work, because I really do believe everyone has limitless potential, and a lot of times we aren't pushing ourselves enough. Because I did not think we would be doing 2 whatnot shows a day, selling 100 items in each show. I did not think that was possible at all. No way. And now
Yeah,
that
that's crazy.
Rochelle and I are doing it together, it's like, okay, we are capable of doing this. Now I just need to wake up instead of at 6 a.m. I just got to wake up at 4 a.m., and get
Right.
things ready. And it's not really a big difference, because if I just go to bed like an hour earlier, now I'm able to increase the input and get a
Right.
more of a increased output.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think people are just not understanding what they are capable of until they are pushed to their max, right?
Right.
But
Yeah.
don't push yourself too much, but push yourself, right?
Yeah.
Are you
And I
doing
mean,
everything?
hard work and being fast and stuff is definitely important, and you do need hard work 100%. That's the king. But also, I mean,
The schedule and the discipline to follow the schedule.
but having your systems down
right.
to where they're also fast, but then getting everything figured out and then also working hard, I mean, you're gonna skyrocket. I mean, it's not
Yeah.
just I work hard, but everything I do is slow to where it takes me 10 hours a day to get my work done. But I worked really hard. It's like, yeah, but you could have been faster. So trying to, make sure you're still improving on everything to where you can get it as fast as it can be so you can do as much as you can and make as much as you can as quick as you can.
Right.
I
It's a
mean,
mouthful.
yeah, I couldn't breathe for a second.
No,
I
that's
don't
good.
know. I think it's all important. This whole thing, it's none of it's hard, but all of it is important at the same time. I think.
100%, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. And you said something earlier, know thyself. I think that's the most important thing is you got to know your limits. You got to know your boundaries. You got to know, what do you want out of eBay? Like, what are you looking
Mhm.
to accomplish? Like, answering the simple questions of why, what, how, figure that out first, because then you're going to get burnout and one bad sales day is going to tick you off and you just quit randomly, So,
Yeah.
and I'm sure you guys have it too. Like, there's some days maybe you don't have a great sales day, but you don't quit. You know,
yeah.
you don't give up. So, yeah, no, that's great. I guess jumping into that next question is like, are you happy with eBay right now? Because there just seems to be more people that are mad with eBay than happy with it. Is there anything that you could see being better on the platform itself, or is there something
The
you
offer.
have towards eBay that you wish could be better?
Oh, I mean, how much time do we have? I mean,
Yeah.
I mean,
You
I
can't you
love.
can't bite the hand
Yeah.
that feeds you.
Part two. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead. You got something? You
What?
want me to go?
I mean, there's always going to be something to complain about with eBay, right? I mean, they have glitches. There's problems with the search. The offers don't work. They always seem to be changing something. But at the end of the day, it's the biggest platform there is for used clothing, used anything, and
Mhm.
you have to take it for what it is and just put as much effort as you can into learning how the algorithm works, learning what you can do to improve your listings. Go back through your old listings, see what you can correct. Look at your descriptions, see if
Mhm.
how your competition is, how your listings compare to your competition's listings, and just adjust. I think eBay is what you make it. If you're not putting an effort in, it's not going to work for you. And
Yeah.
if you are,
That's
it's going to go as well as you want it to.
And
yeah.
um what does complaining really do for you? You know what I mean? In an
Right.
aspect, maybe eBay sees it and maybe eBay will do a change. But what are the odds of that
Yeah.
really happening? You know what I mean? Because I was talking about today. I was saying, man, the uh, program where you can enter it in and people can do multiple orders and combined shipping. Like, there's not really a place where eBay tells a customer that
Right.
before they buy it. Like,
Yeah.
it's they don't know. And I was like, man, yeah, they could do this and this and this. And I was saying, why am I wasting my time worrying about what eBay could do? They're not. I don't work at eBay. I'm not
Right.
going to call eBay up and say, hey, you guys should do this, and 2 days later show up and yeah, it's done. Like, that's not going to happen.
Mhm. Mhm.
You
We're
know,
not
not
big on
right,
complaining.
not to be Debbie Downer and say like eBay's there are always going to be problems, but if you
Yeah.
list through it and you work through it and you continue to work hard through it, whenever it does come back and get fixed, which it always has, they've been here for what, 20 something, almost 30 years now. I mean,
Yeah.
you're going to be prepared and ready for when it does come back.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's sometimes very frustrating, and sometimes you're like, man, I wish this billion-dollar company could figure it out. If I can
Yeah.
figure it out, they should be able to too. But
Yeah.
um, I don't know. I think
Yeah. No,
that's
yeah,
very
I just
short
wanted
term.
your outlook on it because just the noise surrounding it, and it really all
Oh,
comes
yeah.
down to, and this is what was watching one of Jay Ride's lives, and he just did a video, and it really just comes down to not eBay, but you. You
Right.
know, don't point all your excuses as to why you're not getting sales because of eBay algorithm. Maybe it's something that you're doing that you could be doing better to actually
Mhm.
increase your growth. And
Right.
I think that applies to all areas of life, not just on eBay. You know, we have the excuse list as to why our life isn't working out, except we have everything on it except ourselves. And we got to
Yeah.
really look at ourselves at like, what am I doing? Maybe I'm the
Mhm.
problem. Maybe
Right.
there's something I need to do
Yeah.
to get better. But yeah, I love that. We'll get into the comments here real quick, but the last question is I want to know, what is the long-term vision for you guys as a business? Are you going to start another business? Are you going to be on eBay forever when you're 90? What is the long-term vision? I know you guys are both have your own families and everything, but what do you see yourself doing? You know, eBay still in 10 years? What's going on?
eBay still in 10 years.
What do you think?
That's a great question. I can see eBay in 10 years. I don't know about, hopefully, in 10 years, we have it pretty much running itself.
Yeah.
Um, we
Yeah.
have reliable sources, whether that's people going to the bins shopping for us, bringing us inventory, or that's
Mm,
us doing bulk buys, buying maybe Amazon returns or Nordstrom returns, something like that.
mm,
Um, Possibly, I mean, depending on how well the eBay side of things is going, obviously, if we continue to grow, we'll have more options to where maybe we could open up a retail location, something like that. But that's way further down
Yeah.
the road.
Yeah. I mean, I think we'll always do eBay in some form or fashion at this point because it's been so good. Kind of like, I mean, I don't want to keep talking about tech, but kind of like
It's like
tech,
a money printing machine,
right?
kind
In
of.
an aspect of,
mhm.
yeah, we might have other ventures that we go out and do. Not, I really don't have any idea of what they could be right now because we're still trying to focus on this. But
Yeah.
um, I think eBay will still be always. I think it will always be a part of our business at this point. Whether
Mhm.
we go on to do something else, I think we'll continue to sell here. I mean, I don't see why we would ever really stop unless we just got really bored and didn't want to do it anymore. You know what I mean? Just hire it all out.
Right,
But
right.
yeah, I don't foresee us stopping doing
Mm.
it. But and then maybe do other things. I don't know. Maybe go back to
Sweet.
Amazon. I don't
No,
know. I
I
don't
mean,
think
it's
so.
good.
But
I was wondering. I would,
yeah,
yeah, maybe go back to Amazon. I think it's a
right.
cool because as a reseller in general, we have all these platforms. I mean, reselling is reselling. You want to flip at the flea market, you want to flip on whatnot. It's reselling, right? Like you don't got to
Right.
be married to eBay. Like you
Yeah.
just said, jump maybe a little bit onto Amazon. Yeah, it's a little bit higher cost of goods, but you're still flipping money and turning it around. You can
Mhm.
also do whatnot for a lot quicker turnaround time, a lot less profit margin. But maybe having a bunch of different platforms going and hiring out those processes is just a great way to like build a good foundation for maybe the next business you want to start.
Right.
And that's the beauty
Um,
in eBay. You're getting the most return on your investment on eBay,
yeah,
Right. I mean,
especially selling used goods. I mean, what other platform can you spend $2 and make $15 or make $10? I guarantee you, you're not doing that on Amazon unless you're selling supplements.
right. Yeah. I
You're
mean,
making
yeah,
30% margins on Amazon,
yeah.
30 to 40% if you're doing well on Amazon. So if you don't have a ton of money, eBay is a good way to get some money that you can play around with, and maybe,
yeah.
like you said, start another business, start an Amazon business.
Might go into real estate. Who knows? Yeah.
Yeah,
The
having a
resale
good
brothers take
diversity.
on real estate.
Yeah, flipping houses now.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, I want to say hi to everybody. If you have
Caleb.
questions, let us know. We appreciate you. Caleb in the house. Hopefully you're still here, Caleb.
What's
Crushing
up?
it. Go check out his channel, everybody. The Timeless Rose. What's going on? What's going on? Lindsay, how you doing? Marcus
Hello.
in the building. Go check
up,
out
Marcus?
Marcus's channel. If you
Yes.
are getting into reselling, go subscribe to Marcus. We got Heaven Sent. What you doing? How you doing? Heaven Sent, I think they do some pretty good numbers on eBay as
Oh yeah, I
well.
think I remember
Um,
them
pretty
commenting
good
one time.
sales. Hey ho, Holly, what's going on, Holly? How you doing? My son is a bins natural. At 4 years old, he finds the good stuff. There we
There
go.
Oh,
you go.
teach them
There you
young.
go. Could
Get them
jump in
going.
the bin too.
Yeah.
And
And
dig.
you don't gotta pay them. You give them like a
Yep.
candy or something. There you
Yep.
go.
Yeah, yeah. Frankie says new eBay store as of April and trying to list 30 items a day so eBay will push the store and trying to afford listing 10 clothing items so I list 20 non-profitable collector cards. Does it matter?
Categories matter.
I think it does. Yes.
Yes.
And we don't sell. We have. Do we have a lot of women's items still? I think we have a decent amount of women's items that were old. We're not currently listing women's items a lot, so
Yeah.
they don't sell. I mean,
It would all have to be in the
Yeah.
same category.
yeah, you'd
I
have.
noticed the same. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the same for me. It's me with shoes,
Yeah.
when I start
Yeah. Yeah.
listing
That's
shoes
true.
again, all the shoes sell. When I stop
Yep.
for a month, nothing. Like 2 sales a
Exactly.
month.
Bizarre.
Yep. For sure.
So there is something to it. There is something to it for sure. Bobby, what's going on? Bobby's in Ohio. She's your
Bobby,
neighbor.
hey.
She's your neighbor. You'll see her. Big John, what's going on, Big John? Holly says, Resell Brothers, a nothing special comment. What sets you apart from the average is your willingness to learn and commit to being consistent with sourcing and listing. That makes you special.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Wow. Appreciate
Love it.
that, Holly.
That's a great
Yeah.
comment.
Holly's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah. Gary says definitely seeing a lot less donations at local thrift stores.
I've heard that as well.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Have you seen it?
I talked to a manager at a local Goodwill, and she said that donations were way down. But it could be time of year.
And storage units are multiplying like crazy. I
Yep.
gotta save my stuff. I gotta pay $100 a month for my old pillowcase.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Just like a side note, would you guys consider doing like storage units? Or I know it's kind of
It
hit and
actually
miss.
interests me, but I don't know about him.
I've never even
Thought-
thought
You
about
ever
it.
watched Storage
Well, I
Wars?
mean, I've watched that, but that was all fake. That was all staged. But
Yeah, yeah.
How
yeah.
dare
If you ever wanted to do it, I mean, I would show up.
You could
I
even
mean,
do it for content too. I mean,
right,
just
true.
see what you get and people. I mean, apparently that content goes pretty good on YouTube. Just like
Yeah.
even if you buy nothing, people just like looking through a box of old postcards with some gum in there or something. People are
Yeah,
like, wow, that's
we got a
amazing.
couple we got a couple weird ideas for YouTube that we haven't done yet, but we'll We'll see.
Good. Well, we look
Oh,
forward
yeah,
to
yeah,
weird
yeah.
videos.
Yeah. We had a lot of weird videos.
No, but sometimes those ideas really hit big. So, like, I
Yeah.
thought your hot wings what sold video was good. Bring that back.
I'm still mad
Um,
about that, Bo. I'm still mad
yeah,
that didn't get
I'm
more than
still
it did.
recovering from
Yeah.
that.
yeah.
We didn't
All
get
right,
rewarded for our
maybe
pain.
a
Had to wear
part
a diaper
two.
for a week.
John says, I've noticed that resale stores, especially Goodwill, has raised their prices on clothing and shoes. Yeah. Here, definitely. Have you noticed that?
A little bit.
On weird things that are kind of everyday that they think are good, they'll bump up. Like, say, for us, it's more like Peter Millar and something that's fancy Nike wise. They'll jack the price up. But then I found that Roback in a big Sims jacket that was worth $300 for, I mean, like $7. So I mean, it just depends. Some of the stuff they don't really know, and some of it they do. So you have to know more than the thrift stores do. So,
Yeah.
but yes, for a lot of the common stuff, the prices have definitely gone up for sure.
Time to open a thrift store.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so Holly says the most important other thing, other than listing and sourcing, is your willingness to work with your customers so they come back. Yeah,
That's true.
100%.
Yep. That's one
Good
thing I
customers.
try to do. Always respond to customers as quick as possible.
Yep, 100%. Waffle Flips. Oh, good to see you. Some of my favorite YouTubers at once. 2 for 1. I love it.
Yeah,
Hey.
3
Good to
for
see
1 if
you.
you think about it. Maybe.
Yep.
Yeah.
Appreciate you. If you guys want to subscribe to their channel, it's linked down below at Resell Brothers. Check it out. Big John says, at least in my area, which is northern Houston. Nice. Caleb says Christian looks like he wrestled. Was that your sport?
I did wrestle one year.
He did wrestle. Yes, he did.
Okay.
Hitting the nail on the head, Caleb.
Yep.
Semi-professional. All right.
Yeah.
So Gary says, let them price up the Duluth and skip over the Dixon. Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah. Yes, they do.
Yep. Outlier is a great one. I guarantee 98% of other resellers pass it up without noticing. Yeah, isn't that the one that hides you can't even, there's no markings?
No tag. Yeah. A lot of them do that.
Yeah.
What else? What's another one that does that? State and Liberty or something like that?
State and Liberty is
State
another
and
one.
Liberty. Their tag gets ripped out and you have no idea what it is.
All right. Well, that's a good and bad thing, I guess.
Yeah.
G4 is a good one. That is a good one. I saw a lot of those at the yellow tag clearance. People were picking them up.
Yeah, they're
Not
kind
as good as
of.
they used to be.
They're going the same way as Peter Millar a little bit.
Is that generally like a good thought of like if you see it at Kohl's, Ross, or TJ Maxx that the
Head for the
market's about
hills.
to flop?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, for sure.
Sitka is a great one. Yeah, great outdoor.
Outdoor brands, they're king. Everybody loves
Yep.
outdoor brands.
Canada Goose. Good
Canada
luck finding
Goose,
it.
yep.
Sourcing items are so dependent too by what state you are in as well. Some brands that you hear on YouTube as Bolos, I will never find in my state. Got to be fluid and resell.
Absolutely.
Yep.
That's for sure. A long story short, $2. Nice.
Wow,
We
thank you.
appreciate you. Are you
How
guys
do we
familiar
split
with
this?
auction?
Yeah. Oh, do we get $1 and you get $1, Bo? Is that how it works?
Yeah, we're gonna divide it up.
Okay, good.
Turn that dollar into 10 grand over the next week.
There's a series.
Competition. Yep, there's a series. Thank you. I don't know Auction Ninja. Do you know Auction Ninja?
Nope.
Is it good? We'll check it out.
Yeah,
Good to see you. Caleb's listing his items. Caleb, are you done? Are you done listing, Caleb?
Better
I think
be
he does
done.
like 18, 20 a day. J-Ride in the house. What you doing? J-Ride, I'm guessing right now you are in a thrift store and you're filming a short. And
I love
definitely
J-Ride.
found one VCR and some makeup.
Oh,
sounds like
I'm guessing that's what you're doing right now.
Yeah, you just described all of his last 10
Go
shorts.
subscribe to Jake. Yeah, go subscribe to Jake. Good to see you, buddy. Deborah says, can someone have a business model like yours with less inventory, like 1,000?
Yeah, you'll make less money though.
Yeah, it just
like similar concept. But
yeah, we did it. Obviously, we're only at 1,000 to start. I mean, we didn't start there, but we went through the 1,000 item phase, and you don't make a ton at 1,000. So if you're a part time, yeah, it'll be fine. But if you're full time, it'll be tough.
Mhm.
So
You
yeah,
you're just for context, you're at, I think, a little over 11,000, right? Or
we're
13?
at 11,997 the last time I checked, so almost
Cool.
12. We're right
You
there.
got a tight grip on that
Yeah, I know.
number.
I got
Very
that
good.
down. I
Oh,
don't know
that's
why I
great.
looked at that. Yeah.
And that was the course of over how many years? 2.5 years?
2.5. Yeah, about 2.5. Coming up on
Okay.
3 here soon.
Cool.
But
That's
yep.
awesome. Deborah asked what part of Ohio you're from.
Close to Columbus.
Yep.
Okay.
Little west of Columbus.
Yeah.
Cool. Have you seen other YouTube resellers? There's just a ton in Ohio. I don't know why
Yeah.
everyone
No,
lives in Ohio and Missouri.
we haven't seen any YouTubers, but we've seen
Okay.
some people that have seen our videos, and we always
Cool.
appreciate the hellos.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. What's going on, James? James in the house. So many clean cut looking peeps on this video, driving me crazy. Go get dirty.
Yeah.
James.
Like,
Yeah,
start
yeah.
rolling in the mud.
Well,
Um, Timeless. Good to see you, James. Good to see you.
yes,
Hope all is well. Go subscribe to his channel as well if you're
for
getting into
sure.
reselling. Timeless Rose says listing to and will be for the next few hours. Hard with a broken foot and live alone, but
Oh,
someone's got to pay
wow.
the
That's
bills.
not fun. Yep.
Yeah, yeah,
Jeez.
absolutely.
We'll pray
Good
for
to
you,
see
bud.
everyone here. Yeah, good to see everyone. Last parting words as to, some people that maybe want to quit. They
Mm.
just don't want to do it anymore. What is the opportunity that lies ahead that if they quit now, is there still a chance for the average Joe to make it happen, to do six figures even? What are some
Yeah.
things that you can encourage them with to not throw in the towel? And can it be life changing?
Don't quit now. Let me go. Don't quit now.
Inspiring
If you
words.
quit now, you'll never know if you could have made it work. Make sure you actually give it an effort. Don't just say you tried for a couple months, give up because your sales go down. You have to really give it an effort. If it's your dream and it's something you love to do, and you want to work for yourself, you've always wanted to work for yourself. You don't want to answer to anybody. Make sure you're actually giving it an effort and set yourself up for success. Be structured, be disciplined, and give yourself the best shot to possibly make it. That's my advice.
Yeah, I think the meme, weird how life can hit you in memes, but the meme you talked about of the guy
Yeah.
going away at the gold and then he quit right before. I mean,
That was perfect.
that
Yeah.
was literally that's a lot of people's eBay story. They're right there, and it's really easy to quit. Like you said, you have a bad sales day, you have a bad sales week, a bad sales month. I mean, it happens. I mean, you can work through it and get through it, but if I mean, I remember days in the beginning where I remember our first $1,000 day, and I thought we're gonna have a great month, and we got done, and the month was over, and we didn't make that much money, and it was like, man, it was defeating, and I understand how it can be defeating, and how you're like, how am I gonna do all this, and it's not worth it, the time and the effort I have to put in. I'm working 80 hours on this kind of a thing, but
Yeah.
if you keep going, I'm telling you, it's 100% possible. Anybody can do it. It's just a matter of working hard, having the right systems in place, learning as much as you can, but then
Watching other people do it.
work harder than everybody else. Work harder than
Mhm.
everybody else.
People that are where you want to be, watch them and see what they're doing, and try to copy what they're doing if at all possible.
Yep.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yep. Work, work, work. You'll
Yeah.
get there. I
100%.
promise. Promise.
Yeah, absolutely. I just brought up that meme because it just reminds me of all the things that how close I was at, and I just gave up too early, and I just didn't want to do it with reselling. And I read it's actually in Think and Grow Rich. There's a part in the book about a story about one of the biggest gold deposits ever found in the world. Um, there was a family owned property in the 1800s, and they were digging and digging. They knew they had gold there. They found a little bit here and there, and they kept digging, and then they just gave up because they said, oh, we dug too much, we've spent 10-20 years digging, we're done, sell the property. They sold the property. Another owner family came in, and they literally turned over one rock, and it was the biggest gold deposit in the world. Like,
Oh,
Wow.
jeez.
so it's just like,
Man.
all right, there you
Yeah,
go.
that's crazy.
So don't give up. don't give up, everybody. You may be one thrift store away. You may be one relationship away from, having that sourcing solution fixed, or, maybe you need
Absolutely.
help in reselling, and you meet that next person that needs a part-time job. So just don't give up, because I know working for someone else is not as fun as working for yourself. I've been there. Nothing saying there's nothing wrong with the job. I just know everyone has the capability to be an entrepreneur and work for themselves. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fulfilling, but yeah, I appreciate you guys, Tony and Christian, up and coming YouTubers. They have grown their channel. Literally, last time I talked to them, they were at 1,000 subscribers. They're at like almost 5,000. So you almost 5x in 5 months.
We're getting there. Thank you,
Go check
everybody.
out their
If
channel.
you follow us, thank you. We really appreciate it, for sure.
Yeah, go check out their channel. They have great videos. They are also still giving away that billionaire blazer. So if you want a chance at winning that blazer,
keep entering.
Yeah, keep entering. Just comment.
We don't want
comment.
it. We don't want it.
We can't get this thing away.
Can't get a Vicuña. You think you'd be able to get rid of a Vicuña blazer, but apparently not.
No, maybe they think it's just like viscous or something. Like, oh,
maybe.
no,
I don't know. We're about to burn it. Just call it a day.
Yeah, burn it for your next video.
Exactly.
It'll be great. But yeah, I appreciate everybody's coming in. James, good to see you. We appreciate you. Go check out their channel, guys. And if you want to get a hold of them, I'm pretty sure you could reach out to them on Instagram. Is it just at Resell Brothers?
Yes,
something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
Awesome.
We'll try to answer.
Thank you. You guys rock. We're going to get together again in a couple months. I want to know where your business is at. And yeah, I just appreciate the time. They're very busy. So we went over an hour, which kind of wasn't supposed to, but it's okay. It's okay.
Oh,
we made
great.
We can keep going if you want. 3 hours.
Yeah. Cool.
You
3
got
hours.
work to do.
All right. Cool. Cancel the Whatnot show. Cancel Vacation Bible School. Let's go. No, we appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Just some really good attitude. The way they think, good attitude people. Those are the people you want to surround yourself with, guys. Like, if you want to be in a room where people are doing big things that have a good attitude, even through the ups and downs, go and subscribe, but go learn from them and from other people as well. So yeah, I appreciate you, Tony and Christian. You guys have a blessed weekend, and everyone else, questions, comments, leave them down in the video. We'll get to them. Appreciate you, and be blessed. We'll see you in the next one.
Yes, sir.
See y'all.
See ya.